Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another video on our Ummahpreneur channel where we help Muslim entrepreneurs, whether they are starting their businesses completely from scratch or they are already in business and wanting to grow to the next level, inshallah. And in this video, I want to keep it really short and sweet and really just give you as much value and as much impact within these next few minutes as possible so that you can walk away from this with new ideas and new realizations to help implement in your entrepreneurial journey, inshallah. And I want to start by referencing a hadith by the Prophet ﷺ, in which he tells us that إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ وَإِنَّ لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَّا نَوَى, which means that actions are determined by their intention, and every person will receive and get whatever that they intended for. And I feel like this is a very important place for us to start, because as entrepreneurs, whether we are beginning on our journey or we are going through, the ups and downs of business, and there are always going to be ups and downs. There's always going to be highs and lows, right? Because we are human, and it is part of the human experience to face challenges and struggles. And no matter how much we think that our growth will be a linear line that moves upwards, most of the time, if not all of the time, what it looks like is more like a zigzag that hopefully is moving towards the positive direction as long as you're on the right path. And the reason why intention is so important is because it is very important for us to constantly be in a state of self-reflection, to really reflect on why it is that we're doing what we're doing, why are we embarking on this journey, as well as learn more about ourselves throughout the journey of business. And if there is one thing that will completely transform your life and allow you to achieve success, it is your ability to know yourself. It is your ability to truly have deep introspection and examine yourself from within to know your strengths and your weaknesses and really who you are at the core, and maybe what your limitations are and what your strengths are and what your disadvantages and advantages are. And the journey of business, when you embark on this mission of entrepreneurship to build a business, to make a difference in the world, to make a difference in your community, a difference in your life, a difference in your family's lives, this will undoubtedly help you learn more about yourself and force you to sit down and learn more about yourself. And there's a quote that I forgot who it was from that Brother Peter Gold shared with me when he came on our Ummahpreneur podcast. And we had a really great episode and conversation together. So I encourage you guys to check it out. It's the Ummahpreneur podcast episode. I'll link it in the cards above the video, where I interviewed Peter Gold, who owns a design agency. He worked with, companies like Launch Good, Salam Sisters, and so many amazing brands to help them in terms of their design. And he told me that you don't work on your business as much as your business works on you. And that really got me thinking and really resonating with what he said, because ultimately throughout these last few years, if there was one takeaway that I've received, it really is experiencing all that I'm capable of, and also as well all of my limitations in full force. And it is only when you challenge yourself to really push yourself to the limit that you can experience what your limitations truly are, as well as what your strengths truly are, and really understand what your potential could be. And with that, I want to share with you a few questions that I've used over the last few weeks to help reflect on, that have helped me learn more about myself. And not only that, but also helped me really figure out what I can do within my business to help improve, everything that we're doing, and really help improve the business as a whole. And I want to share these questions with you because no matter at what stage you are in the journey, they're going to be beneficial. And no matter which business model you're working on, it's going to be beneficial, inshallah. And with that, let's dive in. I'm going to share my screen. And let's go ahead and share with you a few of these questions. So the first question is going to be a business question that I want you to reflect on. And that's the following. What can I do right now that no one else is doing? No one else is doing in the marketplace, whether it's, because it costs too much, because it takes too much effort, because it takes too much time, because it's too much work. But what can you do that no one else is doing that will allow you to separate yourself from the competition, that will allow you to differentiate yourself from everyone else out there? And let's be honest, guys, the market is getting saturated, right? Entrepreneurship is growing in popularity, and people are wanting to start businesses more and more every single day. They're just getting tired of the 9 to 5 and tired of the grind and really being stuck in that corporate ladder. And they want something else. They want purpose. They want fulfillment. And so it's important for you more than ever to understand, what can you do right now that no one else is doing that will allow you to separate yourself from the competition? So write that down and take some time to reflect on it. The second question, I have a few for you today, is what's the one thing that I can do such that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? This is a question that I took actually from reading the book, The One Thing. And it's a book that I highly recommend that you read if you are an entrepreneur. It's a game changer in terms of really understanding how to prioritize and focus on your goals. And the question you want to ask is really, what's the one thing? Because there's so many things that we can do. There's so many things that we can work on. We can, focus on trying to be popular on TikTok or Instagram, or we can focus on, having a pretty website or a pretty logo. But really, what's the one thing that by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? And for most people, I don't want to influence your answer, but I'm gonna take a guess here, and I'm gonna say that for most people, ultimately, that one thing is probably connected to getting clients, right? What's the one thing that you can build out in your business? What's the one thing that you can do in your business that will allow you to really improve your processes or systems of generating clients, right? If it's something else, then it's something else. But ask yourself this question. Now, this is a more personal question, a question that is more introspective that I want you to think about. If I don't achieve my goals 1 year from now, why would that be? Because as human beings, it's much easier for us to think about what we're doing wrong and really pinpoint that versus trying to think in an abstract way about what we need to do that is right. Because what we need to do that is right that we're not doing is very abstract. And there are infinite possibilities. But it's much easier to determine what we are currently doing that we feel is wrong, that we know in our heart of hearts that we should not be doing. It's holding us back. It's preventing us from reaching our full potential. And so if I want you to ask yourself, if I don't achieve my goals 1 year from now, why would that be? And what can I do to change it? And one thing that I do want to stress here is tiny habits, tiny changes. Really not going and telling yourself, well, you know what, if I don't achieve my goals 1 year from now, it's because I'm someone generally I'm not exercising, and that's reducing my ability to have energy throughout my day to be as productive as I want to be and to focus. Well, don't go tomorrow and set yourself a goal of I'm going to exercise for an hour a day, 5 days a week. That's not going to work. But rather set tiny goals, tiny milestones. Tell yourself, I'm going to take a walk for 5 minutes a day. Right? I'm going to start with taking a walk for 5 minutes a day. If I want to go longer than that, that's fine. But as long as I've done my 5 minutes, I've done what I needed to do for the day. Set yourself tiny habits that are almost impossible to miss. Okay? And you can miss a day, but never miss two, right? You can miss a day, but never miss two. So if I achieve my goals 1 year from now, why would that be? And what can I do to change it? Now, the next question is also, this one is a business question. And this question is more about really over-delivering on value in your business. If I could no longer market for new customers, if tomorrow, whatever channel you're using to market new customers, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, whatever it was, if you could no longer use that and you were limited to your current customers, bringing in more customers, it means really referring other people because they're so happy and so impressed and so amazed by the experience that you're providing to them. How different would your client experience look? What would you do if you could no longer market to new customers and you were limited to referrals only? How different would your client experience look? What would you do to really wow your customers? And this is a question to think about how you can over-deliver on value. Now, a few more that I have for you here. This is a personal one. What are my skills and what are my deficiencies? And which of these deficiencies are keeping me from what I want and why am I not working on them? Again, a very powerful question. A very powerful question that I suggest you take the time to answer. What are my skills and what are my deficiencies right now? Where is it that I feel like I'm not seeing the success that I want in my business or in my life because I lack a certain skill? And in terms of these deficiencies, which one of these is keeping me from what I want? Which one of these is getting in the way? And why am I not working on them? Right? Why am I not working on them? What can I do to work on them? So that's a powerful question as well. And we're going to move on to this one. And this one is one of my favorite questions for introspection. I got this question from the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, that I also highly recommend you read if you're an entrepreneur. And in the book, Stephen R. Covey, he recommends for you to ask this question and think about it because it will allow you to determine your values and your mission and your purpose in life. And the question is the following. If I've passed away and people are at my funeral, what would I want them to say? Right? If you were to pass away, and people are at your funeral and they are speaking of you, What would you want them to say in terms of your achievements, in terms of your personality, in terms of how you treated people, in terms of how you showed up in the world to others, in terms of what impact you had and what differences you made? How would you want people to speak of you at your funeral? Write that down, because that's really one of the easiest ways to get clarity on your purpose, your mission, and your values, and what's important for you in life. Now, I got 3 more for you here. I already gave you a few golden ones, but this is one also that I really, really love. What is the number 1 habit that if I instill will have a dramatically positive impact on my life? What is the number 1 habit that if I instill will have a dramatically positive impact on my life? A lot of people, get tied up into trying to build a routine and have like 5 habits that they're building at the same time. And I made another video on this about rituals and routines and why they don't work when you're trying to pile on a million things at once. So you really want to figure out what is the number 1 habit that if you instill will have a dramatically positive impact on your life. What is the one thing that, if you could do every single day would have a dramatically positive impact on your life? I'm not even going to give you any examples here, because I want you to really think for yourself, and I don't want you to be biased by any examples that I share. Now, this is a similar question, but it's what you need to stop doing, right? What's the one thing that I need to stop doing in my life right now that is holding me back? What is it that you're doing that you just need to stop doing because it's really holding you back? Are you spending all of your day on WhatsApp groups, chatting and forwarding things that are meaningless? Are you spending all your day on YouTube scrolling when you should be doing your work or being more productive? Are you spending your days on Netflix and wasting time when you should be doing more of the things that actually matter? What's the number 1 thing you need to stop doing? Are you someone who gets angry easily and you need to be better at controlling your anger? Are you someone who gets impatient or gets into a negative mind space and you need to improve your mindset? Whatever that may be, what is the one thing that you need to stop doing in your life right now that's holding you back? And finally, what is the one thing that I can do today? Let's bring it all back to the present. Let's now take all this reflection that we've done and let's really bring it back to the present. And what is the one thing that I can do today that my future self 1 year from now will thank me for? And that's probably a question that you should ask yourself every single day when you wake up. What is the one thing that I can do today that my future self 1 year from now will thank me for? Is it really going and doing that exercise? Is it spending 15 minutes working on your business? Is it making the decision to really start your business and take it seriously and commit? Is it maybe making a donation to charity and learning how to be more giving and generous? Right? Whatever it is for you, what is the one thing that you can do today that my future self 1 year from now will thank me for? So these are a few questions that I want you to reflect on. And I hope you've taken some notes. And I really encourage you to honestly lock yourself in a room alone. Maybe put your headphones on, put some earplugs to be in complete silence and write these questions down on a piece of paper and take the time to answer them. And I promise you, whatever you're going through right now, even if you're going through a positive time in your business or maybe a time where you're a little bit struggling or somewhere in between, no matter what you're going through, these questions will, I guarantee you, help you walk away with more clarity, more certainty, and really just more focus on the things that you need to do and the things that you need to stop doing and what's getting in your way and what you should be focusing on. So I hope this video was helpful and impactful for you. And if you do this exercise, which I hope that you do, go and share with me in the comments how you feel after having done it. How do you feel after having taken the time to answer these questions? Has it made a difference for you? Has it made a difference in your psyche, in your mindset, in your clarity, in your certainty? And I would love to read your comments, and I personally read every single one of them, and will share with you my honest thoughts. And with that, if you did enjoy this video and you enjoy our videos in general, make sure to subscribe and like this video, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.